And I will keep killing until every mother weeps tears of regret for ever having come to the mines of Daggis.
Hey, we are back. It's another week, and I'm so excited. I hope you guys are excited too, because you know what? Even though it's sad news to say that our co-host with the most, Mr. Lord of Thane, is no longer co-host of the show, and I'm wishing him all the best in whatever he's doing. Today is the day that I'm going to be introducing my new co-host. He doesn't really require introduction, but I'll give him one. But before we actually do that, I want you guys to guess who our co-host might be. I'm going to give you guys a few seconds here. Come up with a few guesses on who you think it might be. And then in a little bit, I'll bring him in. Okay, so you guys have any guess? Who do you guys think it might be? Let's see. Who do we have? Hey, what's up, Outer Multiverse? Good to see you. Starboy Station's here. Mr. Lord of Thane is here. So do you guys have any guesses as to who it might be? Anyone? Anyone? Angus. Oh, he's saying hi to Angus. Okay. Howdy, fellas. Okay, so it looks like everyone's just saying hi and all that stuff. So you know what? I'm actually just gonna go right into it, and I'm gonna say he's gonna come on in right about now. My new co-host, Mr. Radtoyz Galaxy.
What's going down, Pirates? I did see a couple guesses. There was a guess for Timbo, and
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't
Jordan
see that
said it
because
was
again I'm blind. So
Jordan said it was going to be him, but unfortunately,
next
not.
time,
Next
we'll
time.
bring you in as a co-host next time.
But yeah, so here I am. So everybody kind of knows what I'm all about, what I do, WMC Fridays. But we're not talking about that tonight. We're gonna be just talking to the Pirates and
Oh
doing
yeah,
stuff, right? So
absolutely.
yeah, no, awesome. I'm so happy to be here, man. And this
Thank you
is
so much for being a co-host. It's such a
I'll be
great thing.
I'll be the co-host was the second most. I can never
So is that how I'm gonna have to introduce you now? The co-host with the second most?
Yeah, well, at least it's too soon to take Angus's spot immediately here. So yeah, but yeah, no, I'm stoked, man. I'm ready to go, and yeah, let's do this shit.
So let's say, how about we see who's actually in the chat and let's say hi to them. I did see that Lord of Thane is here, so thank you so much for, even though you're not here, you're still here, and I love that. So I'm glad you're here, buddy.
There's definitely a lot of them popping in here tonight. We've got, obviously, Bjorn was here first.
Smebulak.
We got Justin Welch. While he stopped by, he's going to catch us on the replay.
Yeah, he normally has to work, so that's cool.
We got Largo's Layers in the house.
Hey, Largo, what's up, man?
That's not a name I'm familiar with, but it's nice to meet you.
He's the co-host for what's it? Wilhelm. That's Wilhelm. That's yeah, that's his co-host.
That's cool.
Good to see you, buddy.
We got Joel Starboy Stations in the house.
Hey, what's up, man?
Adrian Forbes, what's going on, brother?
Oh man, I'm so glad he's here. I'm glad he's here because we're gonna be diving into some of his stuff in a little bit. But let's see who else is here.
We got Task Force Figures and Games is here.
What's up, Task Force?
We got Beta Ray Bob.
Beta Ray.
Of course, the one and only Lord of Thane is in the house tonight.
Oh, we're not worthy. We're not worthy.
We have Defiant Outer Rim Station. What's going on?
Hey, good to see you, Defiant.
We got Yayo in the chat.
Hey, Yayo's here. Good morning or good night, whichever it might be.
I pronounced that wrong. I apologize. I'll do better next time. We got Ian Sweeney's in the chat tonight.
Hey, Ian.
And it looks like people are kind of rolling in here. And
cool.
I might have missed one or two, but maybe we'll revisit that a little bit later.
We'll come back to them as they trickle in. Thank you all for being here. It's such a great honor to have you guys support the channel. I really appreciate that. So don't forget to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, I would appreciate if you subscribe because that also helps the channel out. I hate doing this whole plugging thing, but we kind of need that if we want to grow, right? So if you feel that anyone might be interested in this type of content, I can't even speak right now, be sure to share this as well. So, but yeah, that's awesome, man. So I'm glad you're here.
I think I missed a couple important ones, though. I just got to mention on my Outer Multiverse. So Brian's here.
Hey, Brian. What's up, man?
And Famine Studios is also here.
Famine, yes.
All right.
Welcome.
Did my due diligence. Take it away, pirates.
And with that said, so yeah, make sure to check out Famine Studios on Tuesdays. I believe it's at 9 p.m. He does his live custom and chat session. So you definitely want to check that out. And then Thursdays, I believe coming back tomorrow is Toy Domination. So you definitely want to check him out. If he's back tomorrow, I believe he is back tomorrow. And then we'll be talking about Joe Fest. And then, of course, Fridays, you have Mr. Radtoyz and Josh. They'll be doing their WMC show. I believe that's what, 49 now? Or something 40, like that?
Yeah, that's 49. We've got Joe is not an alien this Friday, so that'll be fun.
That's going to be cool, man.
He's one of the he was on one of the OGs on the original shows. I don't even know if he was on WMC or if when I was
I think he was on your original show before you started the whole WMC.
Yeah, I think he was just on the Radtoyz thing. But yeah, no, it's fun. I'm lined up. I got guys for the next like 6 weeks or so. So
that's awesome. That's what I got to start doing now, is getting some guys ahead of time too. And then Sunday you have Wilhelm Hobby, the Toy and Hobby at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. So be sure to check them out on Sundays. So pretty much your whole week is filled with awesomeness. So, and then at the end of the summer, I believe Toy Squad is coming back. I'm not sure on that, so don't quote me on that. But they're on Mondays at 6 p.m. once they are back on the air. But with that said, let's actually dive into something that we did last week, which was the monthly May showcase for the challenge, the monthly challenges. We actually had somebody send in something a little bit late, and they had a situation that allowed them to be able to bring their stuff in a little bit later. So let's dive into that slide, and I'll bring him in. So this is Devastation Station. He did this awesome ship. I really love the design for this. It's like I guess it's like a strike fighter, but it's really cool. So let's take a quick look. So that's the pilot. I believe he has a really cool pilot for the ship, a Mandalorian, it looks like. Very cool. Love the paint work on that.
Great.
The ship is really cool.
Yeah. Great job on the cloth goods too on that.
Yeah, I love that. I love because I hate those plastic. I have a bin full of like Marvel Legends and Star Wars plastic capes because I never use them. You
Yeah,
can't pose your
they're
figures with those things. And
no,
I
they're
hate that. And I only now they're starting to go with some of their soft goods with the Hasbro stuff, but they're way
yeah.
behind.
Oh yeah,
But anyways, yeah, here's the ship, man. Like, check that out. Like, that thing is so cool. He has a speeder on the left hand side behind him, and then on the right hand side, he has his strike fighter. So that is a really cool looking ship.
Hey Adrian, in
And
the chat there, if you're in the chat or anybody, does anybody do you know what the base ship is there? That's a cool looking ship.
yeah, I know, right? And I think it has 2 seats too. It
Oh
looks
yeah,
like it has
totally.
two. Yeah, it has 2 seats.
I
That
almost
thing
thought
is
it
so
was the
cool.
almost thought it was the modern Night Raven that they did for the GI
Oh
Joe.
yeah, it kind of
Or
does have the similar shape, but it
it's
doesn't
not.
have that. It doesn't have that other cockpit though.
I'm guessing of Avengers or Marvel or something. That's what I'm
Could
guessing.
be, yeah.
Oh, is it the
Great paint
Blackbird?
job.
It's not the Blackbird, is it?
No, that can't be the Blackbird. The Blackbird has those tiny little windows,
Oh yeah, okay.
kind of like the Hawkman's plane. That thing, I bought 2 of them because they were so cheap. So I have to totally redesign it because I hate the fact that there's no actual window. They just made these tiny little windows. Is he? He is in the chat though. Oh, there he is.
Hey, Adrian is. I don't know if he's gonna. Oh, it's $1.
Yes, he hates the plastic capes too.
Yeah, he says it's a Dollar General ship.
What? Well, that's how you know we're Canadian. So this is like the Canadian Connection show now.
Oh yeah, yeah. Pretty much, eh? We just get to say A. I had to throw the
We
A.
could say A, we could say mouthing off, and no one's gonna give us any problems.
Well, maybe I don't know.
Well, they
But
could say whatever they want in the chat, but we could always not just pay attention to that.
yeah, when I get down there, I'm definitely gonna be scoping out the Dollar Generals. I'll scoop.
Yeah, man.
I'll
If you see
scoop
one,
up
grab
maybe.
me one.
Yeah, no, I will. Most definitely.
That's awesome. So yeah, that was an awesome job, buddy. So yeah, now we're going back into the ones that we saw last week. But yeah, that was just phenomenal work. And so yeah, it's unfortunate that he wasn't able to participate when when we launched it, so that way he was showcased with everyone else. But he got a little special tribute all to himself. So you must feel special now, Adrian. Thank you so much for your submission. And don't forget, this month I'll dive more into the monthly challenge towards the end of the show. I'll give you more details as to what that is in case you missed last week's show. And then throughout the month, I'll do promos as well to remind you guys. So you have until July 1st to submit your custom. So we'll get into that a little bit later on. But I think before we get into that, maybe we should get into our. Should we get into our next segment,
I think
or do
so.
you have, or is there anything you want to talk about before we get started?
Oh, there was a couple of pretty funny comments, like Angus with his hashtag mouth off. And yes, Starboy, it is all hosers all the time now.
Like take off, eh?
Yeah, like take off, eh? If anybody, I don't know, like I don't know if it's a common movie, but you guys, if you want the real Canadian experience, you have to watch the movie Strange Brew.
Yes, absolutely, 100% recommend that movie. It's an old one, but it's a classic. It's an awesome movie. Like take off, eh? You
Like
hoser.
they try and put the mouse inside the beer bottle so they can take it back to the brewery and get free beer.
Get free beer, yeah. That's awesome. And again, like I said, I'm so happy you guys are here. And let's get into our next segment.
Absolutely.
And I will keep killing.
Wrong one.
Well,
And now it's time for wrong one again.
you can blame it on me. It's my fault.
I'm just so nervous.
No, bigger. Smaller. No, it's the one with a hole on the end that curves this way. I think I saw it once before over there in that pile near the circulators. There you go. I always knew you were the smart one.
Oh, yes. So we're back.
Oh,
So one of the things that I'm thinking about introducing, especially on the days when we don't have a creators corner, I'm thinking about anyone who's working on a new, like a work in progress project, to let us know, like maybe a week before, so then that way we could showcase you as part of like the creators corner. Because I want to kind of do 2 types of creators corner. There's the creators corner where I do the interview, but then I was thinking of maybe doing a creators corner where I showcase anyone who's working on something new. So that way I could say it's almost like your top 5. Here's your top 5 work in progress this week that I spotted, kind of thing. I'm thinking about doing something like that. You guys let me know in the chat if you think that's a good idea. Rad, what do you think about that?
I think it's great, man. I do not disagree with any of the ideas you've had. I think they're
Well,
all
thank
great
you.
ideas. I wouldn't be here if I didn't.
Your check's in the mail.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so here's the stuff that I'm working on. We'll dive into my stuff first, then we'll dive into some of your stuff, Rad. So right now, I've been working. Some of you guys may know I've been working on a team of characters. This is my I think I'm going to call them the gate guardians for my Edge Point station. So these are the guys, almost like Stargate, how they have like SG-1. They would go through the gate and investigate what's on the other side. So this team's kind of like that. They kind of investigate what's on the other side of the gate. So right here, what you're looking at are the weapons. This is the crew's weapons. So I've been working on dry brush. Like, first of all, I gave them a new black coat, and then I started dry brushing some silver on them just to give them a little bit more of a metallic look and a little bit less of that plastic look. And I think so far it's come along pretty good. That bigger gun at the bottom, that is actually the Buzz Lightyear gun. I'll dive more into that in the weekly Greeblies, because that's part of my weekly Greeblies as well. And I'll tell you what the parts are. So there's the gun itself, but the reason why I'm showing this is actually supposed to be a video, so I'm going to show that off right now, just so you can guys get a closer look at all sides of it. So those parts at the end are normally not there. It's usually like a flat part with just 2 circles there.
So you this awesome paint job, by the way. Like,
thank you.
Amazing. But are you gonna add like maybe some reds or yellows or
Yeah, so I'm gonna add some colors. Like, for example, some of the piping on the side, I might paint one of them because it kind of looks like a wire. So I might paint one of them red. I'm still thinking about that. Let me bring back up the slides. So yeah, whoops, wrong one.
Those are lovely plants.
So that's the gun. And that's who it belongs to. So this is one of my newest members of my team. He's the only one that can carry this gun because he's wearing a power armor. And obviously, with the size of that gun, no regular person could lift that.
Dude, so, you're gonna punch that guy's gonna punch some serious holes and some stuff, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that gun, I actually even created a sound for it. It's like a combination of 2 sounds that I found online, and I combined them to make that. So as you can see, the tip of the gun has 2 barrels. So imagine those are 2 miniguns as part of one gun. Jeez. So it's like a dual minigun blaster.
Dude, I don't even know why you made a sound for it. If you're on the receiving end of that, you're not going to be hearing.
No, but the rest of your team's going to be hearing who you're shooting with that thing, right? So, okay, cover your ears, guys, because this is loud. Here we go.
It's going to be awesome.
How cool was that?
Holy cow, that sound would kill people.
Exactly, right? It's so loud.
I love it. Everybody about covering their ears before that came on. I was like, "Oh."
I had to warn you because I didn't realize when I recorded it that it was that loud. But yeah, that gun is deadly. I love this gun. It's called the dual barrel heavy repeater blaster 3. So this is the 3rd incarnation of this weapon in my lore.
I would call it like the FU 4000 or something.
Oh, that's the official name, but I'm gonna actually give it a nickname. Maybe I should make a contest for that.
There you go.
Come up with a nickname. So by next week, for those of you guys who could make it back to the live next week, let me know what you think. I'll actually even remind you throughout the week. Let me know what you think this gun should be called. If you want to call it Big Gun, yeah, call it that too. And I'll choose the best one. Oh, and another thing too. So actually, you know what? This works perfectly. Next week's episode is episode 20. So every 10 episodes is always a giveaway. So next will be a giveaway. I still don't know what the giveaway is going to be. I'll probably talk about that more next week. So part of that giveaway will be whoever's coolest name that I choose. So I'll put your names in a hat and I'll probably just randomly. So no really silly names like poop gun and stuff like that. Like, come on, I want legitimate names. So if you guys come up with a legitimate name, I'm gonna put whoever I'll have like a hashtag for the name. So that way you guys will use that hashtag and then I'll randomly choose the name. I was gonna make it that I choose the best one. I'm just gonna randomly choose it. That way it makes it fair for
That was
everybody.
pretty good. Pirates of Poop or like the Jizzomizer or something.
Gross. Well, you do want to shoot your shot, right? But anyways, that's the gun I'm working on. So that's one of the characters. So here's the other character. So this is my medic. So I actually just got her the other day, and so I just added the decal on her back. That's the medical symbol from Star Wars. And then that computer little panel she's holding, that comes with Admiral Akbar. So I made that like her medical like tablet kind of thing. So that's my my medic. The history is going to be coming out for her. That's the other thing that I'm working on these days is I'm working on the history. So I've written up all the histories. Now I'm putting them into the AI so it can do the voice recording narration. And then I'm going to be doing almost like motion comics is kind of like how I want to try to do that.
Oh, that's cool. A pro tip for at least people in Canada. Yeah, I've been picking up those not Forlom. I can't remember now. Lando's buddy's name. What's his name?
Lando's buddy. Oh, you mean his droid?
No, his buddy with the bald head and shit. Why can I not remember his name? He's like
Lobot.
Lobot, yeah.
Yes.
I was finding
Lobot.
I was finding Lobots for Power of the Force mint on card.
Oh, really?
Like $2-3 at this comic book shop. So I was only buying it for the little handheld tablet he has.
Yeah, I love that tablet. I actually use that for everything.
Yeah.
But the other thing I do with that one that I had that Lobot before I got replaced it with the TVC one.
Yeah.
That Lobot, I ripped the part of his head off because I want to use that on other characters. So if you want to send me a few of those heads or even like a few of the bodies, I'll gladly pay you for those. I would love to have a few of those because I want to make more of those type of characters. I want to do like in Rebels how the Empire was using them as kind of like slaves.
Oh, right? Yeah.
So I kind of want to do something like that.
The ones that are creepy are the ones that have totally the top of their head cut right off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here are my droid, my medical staff droids. So the protocol droid is going to be like my reception droid at the medical center. And then obviously the Astromech T3 is going to be the one that has all the little gadgets and stuff to help out in an emergency in the field.
Where did you get the decals? Like you didn't hand paint those, did you?
No, so I wish I could hand paint that much detail. So those are water slide decals that I got from what's his name again? He's on eBay. I think it's called Bad Mother decals or something like that. But it's like Bad Mother. I'll put it in the description later on, so that way if you guys want to go and check his stuff out, he does all kinds of decals for all kinds of stuff. He can even do custom ones, so if you make a request for a custom one, he'll do that too, and they're really pretty decently well priced in terms of that, because I definitely could not do that freehand. I know some people who could. I'm not one of them because I'm legally blind. I'm going to stick to that.
Dude, I'm not legally blind. I can't do that.
Yeah, but you're an artist, though. You probably could pull that off. I saw your AT-AT, your Mandalorian AT-AT.
Oh,
you
yeah.
painted that what's that thing called again?
The Mythosaur skull?
Yeah, you painted that.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I was like looking for decals or stickers. I'm like, that's gonna look stupid. I'm just gonna go for it, and if it doesn't work,
it looks awesome.
Yeah, it's just one of those things you luck out sometimes. I don't
know. The only thing that I actually did kind of freehand was the skull on my Firehawk for my Punisher. Like I did use a stencil, really but I kind of still freehand a lot of it, right? So, and it came out pretty good considering. But I think it was easier because it's such a big thing to draw. If it was small, I would have messed that up for sure.
Yeah, I still have to check out your trio of videos. It's like every time I pop up on YouTube, I'm like, oh, a squirrel. And I like do something else for like a minute.
Okay, that's it. This is your first and last episode as co-host. All right, so here's the other thing that I'm working on. So you guys might have seen my videos on Instagram in regards to this. So this was a Joy Toy vehicle that I purchased that pretty much right out of the box, the foot broke. So I figured, oh, you know what? Let me make something else out of it. And I made this speeder that's like it's really a 2-in-1 speeder. So right now it's in its land speeder configuration and everything's pointed down because it's in its landed park position. So when it takes off, if you go and look at my Instagram, you could see the different configurations. And there's also the air speeder version as well when the front part opens up and becomes wings. Now, the reason why I'm showing this thing that I'm working on, first of all, I've been painting it. So I've been adding some like dry brushing to it and stuff like that, just to weather it a little bit more. And then you'll notice those two little peg things, like they look almost like pedals. Those are going to become the pedals that are going to be on that. So what those actually are, if you saw, I think it was a couple of live streams ago, I was showing you how I took apart a lighter. That's the part that you press down on the lighter. Like the little, the little trigger for the lighter.
I was wondering.
That's what those are. So those are from Bic lighters, and it just works out perfectly. They're nice and red, so it goes well with that vehicle. So I'm going to be attaching it towards the back part of that vehicle. There's a little peg thing there that I want to attach those to. So hopefully by next week, I'll show you what it looks like.
So Poet Pirates is saying everybody start smoking so you can have lighters.
Yeah, there you go. See, cannabis is legal here in Canada, so yeah, I tend to smoke that every now and again.
Oh,
so yeah, that's the other thing that I'm working on. And then finally, here's the handlebars that I added to it.
Oh, nice.
Those are from a 1/18 scale motorcycle that I took apart. That was actually going to be my Punisher's motorcycle. But if you watch that video, which you haven't, when you watch that video, I talk about how that bike that I can no longer use as the Punisher's bike because I just took too many parts apart. So I figured, hey, I'm just going to use it for fodder. And here's where the first part of it went to, was the handlebars on this speeder.
Nice.
And then finally, I have my two figures that I'm working on. I'm working on a custom Nebula. I kind of wanted to go with this look from the What If series.
Yeah, I love that.
And so I found this head. I think it's an old Marvel Universe figure, 1/18 scale, and I think her name's Yana or Yara or something like that. She's like the Jungle Queen or something like that. So
yeah, I can't remember.
I used that head and then I started painting it. Obviously, it looks sloppy because I just started with the base coats. And then finally, this is a custom that I'm working on for Starboy Station. So initially, the one on the very far left is Gamora. And so that's what she originally looked like. And then the other two is what she looks like now.
What is that center figure? That almost looks like...
They're all the same. It's all the same figure.
Oh, dude, that looks killer.
So the one in the middle that head is from one of the G.I. Joe... What's the name of that? Dreadnoks. So these are one of the newer Dreadnoks that wasn't in the cartoon. So she's one of the newer Dreadnoks. That's the head that I went with.
You want me to tell you what that figure is worth?
No, because it's probably worth a lot of giving away that head. So.
No, it's better used this way anyway. It's not a ton. Like I think she's $50 loose or something.
Holy cow! Actually, what's crazy too is I repainted her body to make a custom Zarana. So
yeah.
And it looks really cool. I used the Rogue head from Marvel Legends, not Marvel Legends, but Marvel Universe, I think the line was called. Yep. And I used the head from the green and black costume Rogue. I used that head on my Zarana and I painted it up so it looks like Zarana. And I painted this particular character's body. I painted it in the Zarana colors. But yeah, Starboy, that's your figure that you're getting. And she's holding her helmet, which is from a Joy Toy figure. I have two of those. It comes in like a 3-pack. So I have another one. I actually have another Gamora body just like that. And I have the same layout, like with the knife and the gun. So I'm going to paint another one like that for my own collection, but maybe use a different metallic color as opposed to that aquamarine. And that's I think that's it. Yeah, that's all that I'm working on right now. So that was a lot. It's a lot more than I thought.
A lot. Oh, it was all right. It was entertaining. I had a good time.
Especially that gun, right? That big ass gun.
Oh, dude, that gun. Dude. Oh,
I love that gun.
just like it's like the Pacemaker 8000. Like it just like
I was
be like,
almost tempted to play it again, but then it's too loud without giving you guys a warning. So
yeah, there's a lot of bass to that.
it's very a lot of bass, and even the treble is pretty high too.
Oh yeah,
Kind of
yeah,
pierces the ear, right?
that definitely cuts through.
So, anyways, here's your stuff that you're working on. So, did you want to take over the slides, or do you want me to go
I
through
know.
the slides?
Well, I can talk about it, but yeah. So these are basically, I'm just kind of in
What?
the
Hold
middle
on,
of
let me get into the slides.
the first.
This is like the intro page.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go.
Here's your first picture, so you can
Okay,
start
yeah.
talking about
So
this one.
I probably like the two Mandalorians aren't done, but I've just kind of like buck I can get, and I print out the little 3 3/4 Mandalorian heads. So
Right.
these are kind of work in progress where I'm
Oh,
finding that.
you're on the right show for that.
Yeah, well, I grabbed a ton of those Anakins. I probably have like 25 or 30 of the
I
TVC.
need more of those too.
I can send you a bunch, dude. They're at my dollar
Cool.
store in abundance. But I'm trying to get the alien heads, and they're just too big for it. So my
Yeah.
alternative, like I grabbed an Ahsoka head, and I'll probably change the paint on her face a little bit. But the
Hmm.
front one is like a Leia head, and then you got like Rose Tico, and then I just painted
Oh,
Anakin's
okay.
hair. I just painted Anakin's hair blonde,
Oh,
so now he's
okay.
got a little blonde kid, right? But
I like the Rose Tico head. It actually looks like a little kid.
yeah, it does with the chubby cheeks and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
awesome. I think I might do the same thing.
And the
'Cause
front one,
I have a sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but I have a Rose Tico as part of my maintenance team. But this is actually a better use for it.
yeah, no, and that front head is from that. It was I think it was Black Series or something, but it's a Princess Leia in her Endor gear, and she's way undersized. She's like
Yeah, she's so
short.
small. She's
She's
so
so
tiny.
tiny, so I just ripped the head off. And then if anybody in Canada is watching, I don't know if they show up, but that line with that droid in the back is showing up at dollar stores now. So
Really
yeah, so every time I go in, I've been clearing out all those droids. So now I have like a big surplus. So what I'm doing is just repainting panels
nice.
on them and stuff, making them all into different droids. I got to, like I said, these aren't done. I have to do some weathering.
Hmm.
Uh, and then that's obviously just a clone trooper for a Mandalorian body back there, and I just printed out.
Nice.
I have a really nice print for 3 3/4 Mando heads, so I just print those out.
I like the is that metallic blue on that power droid at the
Yeah,
back?
for my birthday, my wife got me a whole bunch of these crazy like metallic paints. So I've been
Nice. I
trying
like
them
it.
out. Yeah, I know it really pops, and like once I think I get a little scuffing and weathering on there,
Yeah, it'll really
make it,
pop.
it'll make it really pop. But yeah, like a clone bodies are great for Mando bodies because you can just repaint the
That's
man.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they basically are Mandos. So
Well,
yeah,
that's true. But yeah, they actually really came out nice. I really love that blue. But then again, I'm a huge fan of blue. If you didn't notice by the background
by
and
the
everything,
background and everything else,
everything is blue.
and also your shirt I think is blue today.
Today? No, it's actually gray today. I'm
Oh,
wearing
okay.
a Toronto Raptors jersey today or shirt.
Okay.
And what
So
do we have here?
I'm in one of those moods where I was looking at two of my setups. This was my Mandalorian Consortium headquarters on Duxton.
Right.
I'm in the process of tearing down two major setups. I'm doing this one, and I'm tearing down my Jedi Temple.
Hmm.
So I'm rebuilding those, and I'm condensing my setup a bit because I need a little bit more space for one of my new world building projects I'm going to be working on. So yeah, if you want, I've definitely one of my last tour video. You can see what this looks like in all its glory, but this is just me just tearing it down.
Hey, what's up, Winzilla? Just wanted to
Hey,
say
what's
that.
up, bro? What's up, dude?
So nice. What are your plans on? Are you just going to replace everything? Or are you planning on putting? Because I noticed one of the things about your Galaxy is most of your buildings are open faced buildings. I noticed only more recently, like in your Marvel Legends and in
Yeah.
your Classified. Now you're starting to put up walls. Is that like your new phase that you're going through? Is putting up walls? Like, are the walls removable or?
So the reason I don't like, okay, so when you look at my setups, I did do like an apartment building that had like a glass front to it, so you
Yeah,
could
I saw
see
that.
it. But I don't want to build a building and then put guys in it, and then you got to really look in there. Like it's implied that there's a front on the building when I'm doing my setups.
Right.
So it's just kind of like an imaginary front, but I'd like to do cross sections rather, and then you can see
Oh, okay.
all the inner workings. But it depends on the situation. Like my Tatooine setup, they're all just block buildings. There's no interiors. They only serve the purpose of being like a background or like scenery.
Hmm.
Where when I do my station type setups like this one, I like to have platforms. Everything's kind of open. You can see like what's going on.
Right.
Kind of when I'm doing these big setups, as I'm doing it, I'm kind of setting up little stories, and then I change it around. Once a month or once every couple of weeks, I'll be like, "Well,
Keeping
I'm
it
gonna
fresh.
yeah, just keeping it fresh, just moving stuff around." But no, I got on these tears where either I'm inspired by something someone's doing, so I want to like
Right.
add it into my setup, or I got a bunch of new figures, or I
Right.
just walk by a setup every day and I'm like, I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy with that. And then finally, like it just kicks in and I just go gangbusters, like moving stuff around. So it's it is what it is. So.
Like I look forward to when I actually have a permanent space where I can actually just build a city, because that's what I wanted to do here until I found out we were moving. And so like now that's not going to be the case, but I think the next place that we're moving into is going to be like the next place I buy is going to be permanent. So that basement is going to be completely just my diorama for my edge point station. So for now, my world building is mainly like how I started, storytelling. So stay tuned
Well,
for more of that.
yeah, and originally, like I just kind of lucked out because I just had my shit in a loft before, but I didn't have as much as I have now, obviously. But
Right.
I did have a finished basement that flooded, and I wasn't covered with insurance because
Oh, right. Yeah, you were
covered me for
saying that.
burst pipes, not groundwater. So
That's
I
bullshit.
had to gut the entire basement. So I just lucked out and ended up with an entire like open
World. Whole
space,
galaxy.
whole galaxy in my house in the basement.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
So here's this is this the Jedi temple?
Yeah, so this is me. I'm starting to build my Jedi temple, and I forget who called it out, but that's apparently a $600 nativity scene piece
Really?
that I found at Value Village for $19.
Get
I
out of here.
forget who it was. He was just on the show a couple. I should know. Wenzilla, who was it that does all the molding and stuff? Tell me in the
No
comments.
way.
But and then it was funny because I went and just bought this for $20 and posted it online. And then he got back to me. He's like, dude, that's part of like a $600 nativity scene. And I'm like, really?
Not
Who the,
anymore.
who the hell? Well, and I was thinking, I was like, who the hell would pay $600 for a wall and like some little wise men and stuff like that? Like, are you
But
done?
how is that part of a nativity scene? Like I don't remember there being columns.
Well, it's the background. So it comes with the three wise men. And so they're supposed to be coming through town. And then I
Oh,
think it
okay.
comes with another little shittier building that you put like Jesus and everybody in.
Right. The
So it's
little
them
stable.
coming, yeah, it's them coming into town, but it's like
Oh,
the most
okay.
elaborate. Like you got to be hardcore Jesus to like spend $600 on this thing,
Even if you were hardcore, you're an idiot. It's like,
man.
come on. Jesus doesn't want you doing that.
Oh no,
Give that money to the church.
yeah, get the money to the church.
$600 for an nativity scene.
Hey,
I
told
would
her.
understand if it was like life size, but like, come on, man. How stupid are man? Some people are
Starboy,
really dumb.
Starboy says his mother-in-law would spend that much on a nativity.
Really? Wow.
Ah,
She must have a lot of money to just throw away on something like that. Because that, then again, we spend crazy dollars on toys too. So that's
but we're
just
cheap though. We are kind of we were. I think this community more than most of the other ones is very frugal.
yeah,
Like
that's true. We look for bargains.
yeah, we can look for bargains or we make our own fun, right? We build our own toys out of like shittier toys.
That's the whole part of this show. Like I always say, a broken toy is a custom toy. And I know Bjorn is gonna interject. Every toy is a custom toy. Beat you to it, sucker.
Very cool. Oh,
Right?
Jason Jensen is
Hey,
here.
what's up, buddy? Glad you could
What's up,
make
bro?
it. So
Oh,
this is
and
my new co-host, Radtoyz. Isn't that awesome?
here I am. So this, if anyone, yeah, go back on my my channel and you can see my full setup tour, and you'll
Right.
see this whole Jedi temple is in another location. So this is
Oh,
me.
okay.
This is all obviously 3D printed, but yeah, we got the archive tables, and I'm like working the door in, and then
Is that a 3D printed table? I love that table, man.
yeah,
And I
no,
love that chair.
it's the actual Jedi archive, and that riser is
Yeah.
part of one of the pieces of my Ebon Hawk print that failed, like the
Oh, okay,
printer jammed or
cool.
whatever. So or I didn't feed the filament back in properly. So that's just part of the Ebon Hawk, like a cross section.
Oh, okay, so it
Yeah,
looks like a little
like a
step
little
up.
riser. And the silver thing you can hardly see, that's a salt shaker. And I don't
No
know.
way.
Yeah, the other vase, giant copper vase is just a Value Village or thrift find.
You
That
should have thrown those into the weekly Greeblies too, man.
I should have. I should have.
Like those are so cool. Like yeah, that's the best part about Greeblies. Like it could be anything. Like I say in the intro, anything could be a Greebly. And it's just amazing to see that kind of stuff. And I'm liking the fact that you're rearranging things because what I like too is that once you start getting ideas, because when you started, you had one thought process, right? It's like, oh, I
Oh,
just want to place this here and whatever. But then once you got the 3D printer and you started seeing other setups or even new shows, I'm sure
yeah.
you start getting all kinds of inspiration to start making these new places because this looks cool. This kind of reminds me of Fallen Jedi, or is no Jedi
Yeah.
Survivor, Jedi Survivor.
Well, and the theme behind this, like if you saw the whole thing, it's a big wooden shelf that goes. It's pretty tall, but it's up on a
Yeah,
table. So I got one of those photo backdrops from Amazon. So the idea is that's all like a Jedi temple, like in front of a big, huge like waterfall forest, and the whole background is like a big window kind of thing, so they can see the waterfall. So,
nice.
but yeah, I got a lot more to do on this. I've got some chandeliers I'm gonna add into this, and some more seatings, and then yeah, I'm gonna have a whole bunch of Padawans and Jedi's kind of like studying.
Well, it seems
Just
like a lot of people are agreeing with your idea of being it's very cool indeed.
damn right, they better agree. No,
But that's awesome, man. I think that's all your slides. Oh no, here is another one. You
oh,
still have
so
another
this
one.
is part of. It was originally my newest Nar Shaddaa diorama, but what I'm doing to tighten things up is I'm moving the Mandalorians from their setup, and
Right.
they're gonna habitate this setup. So
So this is their new coven
yeah, so
or
this is the
convent or whatever
Imperial
it's called.
plot, and I'll come up with some lore, like the Empire used some like devastating weapon on their original home on Duxon,
Right.
and then they like moved to Nar Shaddaa, like the survivors, and they kind of taken over the area. So they're going to be at war with the Hutts that run Nar Shaddaa,
Cool.
but they're like, we're Mandalorians, piss off, we're just going to do whatever we want, we're taking over, kind of thing. So
Nice. Now I have a hut. Like I have a hut on my station too. Her name's Dira. Dira the Hut. So she left the regular Star Wars galaxy, like the core and mid rim and outer rim. She left there and went off into uh, the unknown region because she saw an opportunity in our station because there's a city inside of it. So she decided, hey, I could run the entire underground, and she's the one that ends up starting the underground fight scene that eventually gets found out, and then the authorities take it over, and that becomes Titans of the Universe.
oh, okay,
So
that's cool. That's a really cool lore.
now the other thing too, the reason why I brought that up is because I have a 6-inch Jabba the Hutt, and I'm thinking of making him into like the main hut.
Oh, you know
Right?
what you should do? Like put like big like armor pads on his shoulders. Just make him
Actually, that's a good idea.
like just
Make
make him like just a piece of crap warlord dude. Like yeah,
Yeah, that's true. Make him like a really sinister guy,
like
but
maybe
he
like
also gets his
a eye
hands dirty by
patch.
fighting.
Yeah, but like do like give him like a big metal eye patch and like maybe a steel plate in his head
Ooh,
or
I
something.
like that. I really like that. I think I might actually have to do that. Maybe even add a little bit of steel plating to his tail, his
Oh,
slug
that would
tail.
be really cool. Or like
Yeah,
one
I
of
gotta.
those crutches they put on people's legs sometimes.
Yeah, we're making like all metallic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Actually, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll do that for our next week's show. I'll
There we go.
start working on that this week.
Take
And
some
yeah,
notes.
so that's what we're working on this week. So as you can see, we're both pretty busy, and I still have a whole bunch of stuff. Like I still have to finish up Starboy's his ship because there's still some like little greeblies and stuff that I wanted to do. Wanted to do some weathering. I was supposed to send that way back in March when he
Whoop.
went away and came back from Italy, but then my eyesight started to get really bad for a little while, so I couldn't really do too much stuff. So hopefully by the end of this month, that'll get sent out to you before my surgery. I'll send that out to you because I actually want to get as much stuff as I can get done before the surgery because I don't want to be trying to strain my eye when I'm healing. So yeah. So Wednesday, June the 26th, there will not be a show, obviously, because I will be in surgery that day. So I'm hoping you guys will send me your positive vibes and your prayers and whatever you guys do. No witchcraft though. And so that stuff, I would appreciate that on June 26th.
No voodoo dolls or anything.
No,
Also,
none of that stuff.
we've got Wilhelm Toy and Hobby that just popped into the chat here.
Hey, what's up, buddy? So yeah, go check out his show from this past Sunday. We all did, like a bunch of us did custom Firehawks. He did actually his presentation was just top notch too. I like how he did his intros and all that kind of stuff. Great job, buddy. So yeah,
And
go
then-
check him out. Wilhelm Toys and Toy and Hobby. Go check him out. His information will be in the description towards the end of the show or later on in the show after the show.
Ian had a good idea for your hut too. He said
Ooh, what's that?
put a spiked ball in his tail like a flail.
Ooh, yes, I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty
What are
good.
those things called? Morning stars, or is that what they're called? Morning stars? Those, or is it a mace?
I think it's
No,
called
a mace. I think a mace is a solid one with the ball on top.
Yeah,
right?
so I think a morning star has the chain and the mace is just the big.
Yeah,
Either
so-
way, you're dead. You're like they both.
yeah,
go.
exactly. They'll both leave a mark.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyways, you know what? Let's before we move on to anything else, how about we jump into our next segment? I think we
Let's do
should do that. Let's do that. And now it's time for Greeblies.
Greeblies. Oh, my precious. Oh, yes, anything can be a Greebly.
I love that intro.
Does that guy have a name? I love that little like sea
I
beaver.
I don't think he does have a name. Actually, you should ask Lord of Thane. That was his
Lord of Thane,
creation,
what's
so
his
maybe
name?
he has a name. So, Lord of Thane, do you have a name for that character? If you
Probably
do,
like-
let us know.
Steven the pipe jacker or something like that. It's like a pipe squirrel or something. I don't know what.
Oh, I just realized I messed up the names on these. It's just a white bar because I did the name and the bar in the same color.
Oh,
So you,
okay,
you can't see it. See, that's
Alright,
the
well-
problem with my screen because the thing is, when I look at my stuff, anything that's really light, I have like it's called night vision or night theme. So what happens is I can see the lettering on my screen, but then when I play it back in the regular shot, I can't see whatever it says. So this is how I messed that up. Because on my screen, all the white, that white square is black.
Yeah.
So I can
really?
actually see the letters. So the letters on my screen are white, but that box is black.
Whoopsie
So
doodle.
messed up. Anyway, sorry folks. That for those who don't know, this comes from Leia's Lust Palace. He often has some really great ideas for Greebles. And these are things you can, like, I know these are mainly stuff that he finds in Europe, but we can find similar types of things here in North America, like at a Home Depot or a Lowe's or one of those types of stores. You should be able to find something of this this type. So essentially, what these are planter boxes, but they're modular, so you can actually move them around and set them up into different positions. So these ones are actually really cool. So that's what they look like fully assembled. But then you can break them up. So here's another view of them assembled. And then you're going to see how they kind of get broken up. So here's the lower part of it. So as you can see, that in itself could be a building just by itself. You could add like a door to it. You could add greeblies to it. But then also that center part, if you notice, is like, it almost looks like there's like an opening.
Yeah.
That center part actually comes out as well. So here's what it looks like with fully assembled. So you can use that other part as like a tower. So you can make a tower out of it.
You put a platform in there, that would make an awesome guard tower, man. Like,
yes, exactly. That's what he actually suggested as well, that you could make a guard tower out of these.
holy
Like you said, put a platform in, especially at that top part, put a platform slightly
awesome.
sunken. So that way they're a little bit below the edge. That would be perfect.
Like front gates to like a fortress city.
Yeah, exactly.
Between
That
it.
would be cool. Add like a huge cannon on top or something. That'd be cool too.
That would be. They're like I saw that they were $10 American. That's like 100 Canadian.
Close enough, maybe closer to 1,000. So here's what it looks like with the top part flipped over. So you can flip it over, so it can still be a guard tower, but now it can be a guard tower if you put a guard tower, and at the very top, if you put a platform up there, it could be a landing platform on top.
I am definitely looking into these, man. These would
They're
be
really cool, right?
It would really, really, really good on this. What I have in mind coming up here for a build. So
yeah, check them out.
cool. I would definitely.
So this is what it looks like with that inner part. You can see what I was saying, how that inner part comes out.
That's cool.
so it can be hollow as well.
Huh.
Very cool. I love that idea. He comes up with some really awesome, like his perspective on some of these things is really awesome.
You know what else
love
it'd be
his
awesome
ideas.
for? It's not really like 1/18th related, but if I was like redoing my Transformers setup, they would be awesome like supports for like a highway or something.
Oh yeah,
You could do it for 1/18th
like
too.
for Cybertron.
Yeah, or like where like a train track if you have an elevated like monorail in your 1/18th setup.
Yeah, exactly. To me, I see that I see a tower, but then I also see that if you flip it on its side, it could be like a hangar bay, especially if you have that bucket part on the inside of it. It could be like a hangar bay.
Ryan, that is a planter. Please try and follow along with us.
Did you not see the first picture, man? Did you not see this?
She's having a great time with them. She thinks they're fabulous. Look at the smile on that face.
I know, right?
Or she's
Love
drunk.
it.
She's probably drunk.
So here's Lord of Thane's awesome provision. His awesome Greebly that he submitted to us. Now we have, it's probably not called the same thing in North America, but we have wet wipes packaging similar to this. And so he used the lid for that packaging as a doorway, which is awesome. So here's what it looks like off the packaging. So it looks really cool. You can add some greeblies. You can add some lighting to it if you wanted to, just to give it some of that, like, like a panel or something like that. And here's what he used it for. So he used
that's cool.
on Mars lander thing. This is a Playmobil vehicle. So now he could actually, because it's a little bit taller than the lander, he could actually raise the top of that lander so that way it could fit 1/18 scale figures a lot better. I don't know if that was his plan, but now that's something he can consider because that door is a little bit bigger, which is cool. I just love the shape of it. It looks
that's
like a
great.
hatch.
And it would work great as like a window if you wanted a window with like a.
I was thinking that too. If you turn it to the side, it could be like a shutter kind of thing, like
Or if you and if you flip it the other way and put supports under the door, it could be like a takeout window for your restaurant.
Oh yeah, and that could be like a canopy over it.
Yeah, or you could do it that way. I was thinking the other way, so that's like your table.
Oh, a table. Yeah, that's a brilliant idea.
Throw all their food out on it, but no, that's a great idea too. A canopy. Yeah.
So all so far, this, as you can see, guys, we throw these greeblies out there, and there's a million and one ideas because everyone has a different perspective when they see something. So that's awesome. Definitely check that out. So if you guys see something similar to this here, I think in North America the shape's slightly different for those, but the idea is pretty much the same. I love this idea. Especially if you're building a ship, this might actually be something I might consider for a ship because I'm planning on building a large ship. I actually already talked about this a little while back. These would be perfect for hatch doors within the ship.
Yeah, and Lord of Thane also says like a top hatch, like
Yeah, exactly. To enter a ship or a building or something. Very cool. Thank you very much, sir, for that. So even when he's not here, he's still here. I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. My co-host with the most. So here's my submission. So as I talked about earlier at the beginning of the show, I was talking about that big ass gun, the dual barrel heavy repeater blaster 3. So yeah, I definitely need a new name for that.
Called the tenderizer.
There you go. These are the parts that I use to make it. So I had a model kit. So first of all, here's the gun. It came with this figure. And as you can see, the very front end of the gun is flat. So there's nothing that goes on the edge of it. And then also, if you notice towards the front of it, there's that handle. Actually, that handle doesn't fit 1/18 scale hands. So I cut that handle off and I used the repeater blaster from the Clone Wars. I actually used the handle from that a little bit closer to where the trigger, I guess the trigger guard part is. And I made my gun doing that.
You gotta give Lord of Thane a warning if you're gonna play the gun sound again.
No, I'm not gonna play it again. I'm not gonna play it again. But and then this little model kit. So this is a small little model kit that I had, and the snow speeder. If you guys remember, unfortunately, I don't have the back end shot of it, but the land speeders have like a little weird kind of, I don't know if it's an engine part or a radiator or what it is, but it's like a little rounded dome thing with little holes in it. So it almost looks like the tip of a gun. So that's what I use it for, to put on my gun here.
Oh, that's cool.
So the very tip of the gun is those two engines, obviously repainted so you don't really notice it. And then as you can see towards the back where the handle is to grip the gun, you notice how there's like a little part that sticks up from the body of the gun. I wish I could show you what I'm pointing at right now. So
Yeah.
if you go to the very back, you see where the handle is? The very back of the gun is the handle, right? With like a trigger guard.
Yep.
Okay, so just in front of that, there's a part that sticks up that's facing vertical. That part is from the Clone Wars minigun. I cut it
Oh,
off and I glued it onto this, just so
yeah.
that way my 1/18 scale figure could hold onto this cannon. And then the original barrel that was there, unfortunately, I don't have another picture. No, I don't have another picture of the gun of the other side of the gun. But that wire, the part that was the original handle, I bent it down. So now it's the wire on the side of the gun. So that's the one I'm probably gonna paint red just to add some color to the weapon.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And
Oh, you
those,
know what always looks good on these? It reminds me of Aliens is when you do the yellow and black construction stripes.
everyone loves. I hate those construction stripes.
Oh, really? Oh,
I only like them for where they need to be, like a hazard, like around a door, a low bearing door, or like the edge of a platform. That's where I want those, not
you
on
were
my
like
guns.
you were like traumatized as a child by safety stripes.
Maybe I don't know what it is, but everyone uses safety stripes everywhere. I actually have a gun from a Joy Toy mech that actually has those safety stickers on the
See?
gun. I'm like,
See?
oh,
See?
it's just weird. I can understand that if it's on a massive big gun that's bigger than a person. That makes sense because you
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
watch your step. This thing, if you see this, it's the last thing you're gonna see. So a hazard sign ain't gonna help you.
Safety first, man. Safety first.
True enough. True
It's like
enough.
like Starboy says, black and yellow everywhere.
Black and yellow, black and yellow.
Black and yellow, black. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I could consider that. But I personally, I'm not a
Oh,
fan
no,
of
you
those.
don't want to force you into anything you don't want to do, man.
I like those, like I said, I like them on vehicles, on edge of stuff, or like on low hanging walls and stuff like that. I like those stripes there because it's supposed to draw attention to it. But I don't know. I find it a weird place to put it on a gun. That's just me. If you guys like it, by all means, go and do it. I am not here to tell you how to make your customs. All right, so now we've moved on to your awesome Griblies. And what do you have for us today?
All
Okay,
right.
now this one you sent us. I don't see it. Where is it?
What are you talking about?
The chain. Where is it? I don't see it.
It's not about chain. It's about the tile.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Yeah. So those are those containment walls when you're building a shower or doing tiling. You put them right in the walls. They're hidden when you're done.
Right.
But
That
no,
is so
they make
cool.
awesome railing, and I don't know if they have them in the States, but we have the Restore up here, which
Right.
deals in like donated, used construction materials.
Well, they
But
have Habitat for Humanity down there.
that's exactly what we call it, the Restore around our area.
I think the actual store is called the Restore,
Yeah, but
but
these,
it's run by Habitat for Humanity.
yeah, and they sell these for like you get 10 feet of this for like literally $2 or $3.
What? I gotta go check out the one on Gerard.
The
There's
plastic
one
stuff,
near here. Yeah, they have that here.
yeah, they have the metal version, but it's a lot harder to work with. Like this one, I could cut with like a pair of tin snips or something like that. Whereas the metal
Oh,
ones,
okay. It's
you
probably a
almost
lot thicker.
you got to cut them with a hacksaw and stuff like that.
Oh, that's a lot of work.
I worked with these all the time too when I was like contracting and stuff. It was usually the metal ones, like the little half walls, but
Right.
yeah,
I love those.
but no, they make good railings. They're a little short, so you can maybe put like a dowel or something round on top, but it
Yeah.
doesn't bother me too much. Like I've got these down resting on the middle part. So
Why didn't you put any hazard stripes on it?
oh, you know what's funny about that? Somebody messaged me. I don't recall who it was, but they said they use these as a template to create those. So you can paint
Oh, okay.
and you slide it up and then you paint again or something like that.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah, so somebody
I can see that.
Yeah, this is kind of probably the messiest section I could have taken a picture of.
The idea is really cool though. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you have your next one here. So this
So,
is 2 in 1.
yeah, 2 in 1. So I did send a picture of more chains, but in my Mandalorian setups, like Nar Shaddaa type stuff, I love drooping like old chains
Yeah,
everywhere.
I like that. It looks cool.
And I got a roll of that jeweler's chain. Like, it was huge. It was like $12 on Amazon. And it's like 4 million feet. I'll never run out of it. It's more in the scale that if you wanted, like, if you have a 1/18th guy, you want to tie it up with a chain. It's
Yeah.
that scale. But these are like big, like dog chains. Like,
So this would be more like 1/12 or 1/6 scale chains.
they could be, but like, I like seeing like massive chains. Like, they would be
Yeah,
way
this
too
is
big.
cool.
They would be way too big for anyone to just pick up. But say
Right.
they're structural, and I guess
Almost like anchor chains, kind of like they're really, really big.
yeah, they're huge. Like, you would never, like, as a 1/18th figure, you would never be able to pick that up and
Right.
drag it anywhere. But it's always been there. Like, these stations that I build, like, in my lore, they're like hundreds of years old. So who knows
Right.
how stuff ended up wherever. And I guess
That
the
is so
second one
cool.
is for my new Mandalorian setup. I'm doing I found a whole bunch of this fabric, so I'm gonna make like awnings and like
Nice.
stuff like that. And I've got like a little mini fan I might put in behind to kind of make it
Cool.
look like they're ruffling in the wind when I do videos and stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Very nice, man. I like that light too at the top there.
Yeah, those are at the dollar store right now. I screwed up with that one. I should have painted it, but that says repair in Arabish.
Oh,
So
cool.
that's like a repair place, but they cycle. They're solid colors. They'll like do the seizure flash thing, or they'll just cycle color.
Caesar flash.
But and they work on a remote. They plug in. That's my big thing with LEDs. They have to plug in.
Yeah. I
I'm
just
not
bought
messing
a
battery.
USB plug thing so I could plug in a bunch of USB lights because like you, I don't want to have to be trying to dig around everywhere. Not that I have a stationary thing, but I wouldn't want to have to be digging around everywhere to find batteries and shit like
Oh
that.
God, no. That's like the worst thing ever is when all your batteries go and you got to dig them out. And you put things in front of it, and it's like
You knock everything over.
oh.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so this is kind of work in progress. Obviously, I'll keep everyone updated here, and I will do a video on my channel when it is time to unveil it. So
That's awesome, man. Well, thank you so much. And that brings us to the end of our show. Almost.
almost.
We're almost at the end, folks. We're almost there. We're just hanging a little bit longer. So next step is the monthly build challenge. So I'm going to talk about that today, just to give you guys a reminder about what it's all about. So as you saw with the intro of today's show, it's about laser sword. So it doesn't have to be lightsaber. It can be any kind of laser sword. There's different characters who use different types of laser swords. There's a character named Thundar. There was a cartoon back in the 80s called Thundar. He had a laser sword. There's another cartoon from the 80s called Ulysses, I think 31 or 21 or one of those. He had a laser sword. But then there's also lightsabers, as you guys know as well. So I just want you guys to create a character. It doesn't have to be a Force user. The main reason why I started this because I knew the Acolyte was starting. Actually, speaking of the Acolyte, did anybody see that? And if you did,
I think everybody in the chat's probably seen that.
And what did you guys think about it? You guys can let me know in the chat. I thought personally it was okay. It was mid-tier, but then again, I've been finding that kind of being the norm with a lot of the Disney Star Wars stuff. Some stuff, like a lot of them have awesome highlights within them that I really, really love because it really screams Star Wars. But then the overall execution just wasn't there. It didn't blow my skirt up. So this one again had some really good elements within it, but I didn't love it.
Yeah, they seem to be able to like isolate certain things, but I think they definitely have their weak points. And at this point, though, like we know we know what to expect with Disney. Like we're not gonna
true.
We're not gonna get what we got before, and that's fine. Like
the only thing that one of the shows that I really, really, really was surprised by was Andor. I was really surprised by
Me
Andor.
too, man.
And
Me
I
too.
think why it was so surprising to me is because of the fact that it was someone who doesn't didn't follow Star Wars, but really is a great writer. And there, what the
Yeah,
problem is, some of the other writers who follow Star Wars aren't the greatest writers, so they didn't make the most compelling stories like Andor was compelling. At least that's
yeah,
just my opinion.
yeah. And my only big gripe with like stuff like that is like it really just seems like they write in the moment,
Yeah,
just to kind of suit the scene and stuff. Like I've had a lot of contradictions in the Acolyte.
that's
Like
true.
it's based on the lore that they set up or the rules, they kind of just do whatever.
Yeah, they kind of broke their own rules at certain
Yeah, yeah,
parts.
it's fine. But apparently, I don't know. I watched this thing and I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll see what episode 3 does for everybody because it's
Yeah, I
apparently
heard it's a controversial episode, so
yeah.
we'll
So
see.
that's the one they're saying is going to divide the fans again. So we'll see.
No, boo.
Whatever it
Oh
is, what it
well.
is.
Then again, it's not written necessarily for us, right? But either
No, no.
way, for if you love it, more power to you. And I hope you guys continue to enjoy it. I'm still gonna keep watching it because just like Andor, I wasn't fully impressed with the first 2 episodes, but then by episode 3, or at 3 and 4, I was really starting to get drawn into the lore, and it started to really pull me in. So I'm hoping this might be the same kind of thing where the writing gets stronger as the lore continues to build. But right now, I'm just meh. I don't
Yeah,
mind it. I
yeah,
mainly like it for
all right.
the some of the visuals because I love the
Yeah,
scenes. Those are really good. I love the ships. I love the aliens. That was for me that was a chef's kiss. Was the different aliens that they were introducing. I really did enjoy that, and I was
yeah,
happy that they were bringing in some new worlds as well.
yeah. Just to finish it off, for me, it's I'm not really too concerned where Disney's taking it because
That's true.
I always subscribe to my own head lore and
Yeah,
like Star
that's
Wars.
like me too.
Yeah, Star Wars is what it is in my head. Like I don't really pay too much attention to like what
True
they've done,
enough.
what I think they've done wrong and right. It is what it is. It's
Yeah, it doesn't upset me anymore. Like I
no,
remember after the Force
either.
Awakens, like I liked the Force Awakens, and after that, didn't love the rest of the movies.
Yeah,
But I didn't. It stopped bothering me as much because the cycle just kept happening.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
just
You're
mid tier stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, they're
yeah.
just making something that's just not for me, and I can accept that now. So
You know what to expect at this point. So there's no real.
exactly. There's something for everyone, right? For me, my stuff is the older stuff. And actually I did like the Disney stuff that I really did like was Rogue One. I really enjoyed that movie. That was a lot of good, a lot of fun.
Yeah, that
Solo was
was good.
pretty good, and I
I
liked
like Solo.
Mandalorian.
A lot of people hated Solo, but I thought it was
I really enjoyed Solo. Like I know it wasn't Harrison Ford, and I don't understand why people can't see past that. Because
yeah,
to
yeah,
me, it's like okay, it's not Harrison Ford, but he did get a lot of his mannerisms pretty down.
yeah.
But just
Oh,
like a younger
absolutely.
version of him,
No,
right? Which I enjoy.
he did a great job of emulating him for sure.
Exactly. I really, really did enjoy that movie. I really enjoyed Rogue One. I really enjoyed, like I said, I enjoyed Phantom Menace, the Force Awakens. That was a pretty good start to the sequel. Then after it just fell apart
Oh,
after that.
oh yeah, and I totally understand that, but maybe on a future show, maybe when the show's done, we'll get into it. But I can't really make any comments on it without doing
Yeah.
spoilers, so I'm just going to avoid that
Yeah,
altogether.
so I don't want to spoil anything. I just wanted to see if people actually saw it. So if you guys saw it and you enjoyed it, I'm happy for you guys. If you didn't enjoy it, I'm happy for you guys too. So it's all about love here. That's all it is. So yeah, again, if you guys have any Greeblies and you want to send those in to us, send it to the WIP Wednesday Live Instagram account. Message us there. You don't have to necessarily be using the Greebly, but if you have used it, by all means, send us a before and after image. Or if you haven't used this, just send us an image. Just send us the image of the product and tell us how you would use it. Now, before we go, let me tell you about the monthly challenge. As I said, it's again a laser sword user of any kind. Could be a robot, could be an alien, could be a human, could be whatever you want it to be. As long as they use a laser sword and there's a laser sword in the picture, that's what I'm looking for. And just like before, maximum 5 pictures and or a 30-second reel. So send those to the WIP Wednesday Live Instagram account by July 1st, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Actually, you know what? Let's move that to Tuesday, July 2nd, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. and we'll submit those for July 3rd's showcase. So I'm excited to see what you guys come up with. And until next week's show, take care, pirates.
See you again.